application. So I'm going to present you with the contents of what I'm going to present in my presentation. So it starts with the theory of demand, then with demand curve, then demand function, determinants of demand, exceptions of law of demand, increase and decrease in demand, case study and conclusion. So, what is demand? Demand simply means desire to buy something, but not every want is a demand. Demand is derived from desire and want. Demand is the utmost requirement to buy something, which mandatorily includes price and time concept. And demand is a flow variable since it hugely relies upon price and time. And preference and choices are basic of demand, so include cost, benefit and profit. So what is desire and want? Desire is when you want something but you do not have the essential requirements to buy it, so you avoid buying it. Want is when you have the requirements to buy something but you do not buy it since it is not the utmost essential in your life right now. And that is when demand comes in. Demand is when you have the utmost requirements to buy certain thing, and buying that it is also an utmost essential in your life. So demand is only when you want to buy something which is of the utmost requirement in someone's life. And it is also an assumption in economics that demand goes up when price decreases, and it is this simple concept which keeps things in market in a state of equilibrium. So demand is actually classified into two types. It consists of individual demand and market demand. So individual demand represents the quantity of a good that a single consumer would buy at a specific price at a specific point of time. So a huge population affects a market in a very different idea for demand. But individual demand is all about how a single person's need affects the market demand. So there are certain factors which influence individual demand. They are price of related goods, income of consumer, tastes and preferences, and expectation of change of price in future. So price refers to how individual would want to buy different things at different rate of prices, and the price of related good, for example tea and coffee. If someone would want to buy coffee rather than tea, if coffee's price goes down. And also it depends on the factor of the income of consumer. If the income of consumer goes down, his demand may decrease too, since he does not have a higher demand for it, and due to his personal tastes and preferences. So when his tastes may change, his demand and requirements may change. Also when he expects the prices to go high in the future, he may buy them in advance sometimes. So this is also a factor which affects the market's demand. So what is market demand? It represents the aggregate of all individual demand. So market demand is basically about how a total population of a city or area affects the market's demand. So there are three factors which affect market demand. They include size and composition of population. So the size and composition of population in a city may affect the market's demand, may be high or low. And then the season and the weather. Umbrellas are certainly required at winter season rather than the summer season. So the demand for umbrellas may go up in winter and not in summer, though the sales may be there in all seasons. And the distribution of income among the consumers. The distribution of income among the consumers must be equal in order to attain equilibrium in the market state. But the unequal distribution of market state income affects the market demand. Demand curve is all about a graphical representation of demand either going up or going down. So the assumption in this is that whenever prices changes, the demand also changes. So demand curve is a graphical representation of change in product demand brought about by a change in price. Any decrease or decrease in demand due to a fall or rise in price is depicted by a downward or upward movement. So this is all about demand curve. Demand curve is actually affected by a lot of factors like the price of the consumer and the price of complementary goods and etc. So this graph represents the demand relationship between price and quantity. So here the curve is a downward sloping one. So the demand is sloping down since the price is increased and the quantity is decreased. The demand function definition refers to a relationship between a product's demand and other determinants affecting it like price. So this function can be used to understand the consumer's behavior in a market and assist firms in making informed decisions about pricing, marketing and resource allocation. So law of demand is actually an important concept in demand. This demand states that keeping other factors constant, the price whenever increase, the demand will go down. This is actually keeping other factors constant. This demand actually explains consumer choice behavior when the price changes. This happens because when a consumer hesitates to spend more than something for a good without the fear of going out for cash. So there are certain exceptions to the law of demand. So when the price expectations, when they expect for a thing to get increased in price in the future, they may buy the things in before in hand. And for the type of goods, when they are complementary, some may prefer other to the one when others price goes up. And also taste and fashion. So whenever a person's fashion taste changes, though the goods price may be high, they would want to buy it. And also when a person's income changes and it becomes high, they can buy it whenever they want. And in case of emergency, when some product is in need in the utmost, though others don't matter, they go for it no matter how the price is. So the concept of cross demand, substitute goods and complementary goods. In substitute good, one good can be substituted for the other. For example, coffee and tea. So when the price of one goes down, the others demand may increase since the others may switch to another. But in complementary goods, one cannot be taken without the other. For example, bread and butter. So bread cannot be taken without butter. So when the price of bread goes up, the demand for butter goes down. This is all about cross demand, and the graphs represent how the quantity of the demanded goods goes down or high according to the prices. So there is going to be a short case study of Nokia mobiles. Nokia is actually a corporation in Finnish multinational telecommunications. Nokia was actually a founding telecommunication brand. No person had any other brand of mobiles rather than Nokia during the mid 1990s and 2000s. So it was such a famous mobile brand during that time. So Nokia was basically a public limited company, and the smartphone segment is typically having a price for about 400 to 600 euros. Demand is different for different devices. The main aim is to create low cost mobile according to the demands of the people, but they were never innovative. This was one of the drawbacks with Nokia. So during the 1990s, no matter how much the price of Nokia went up, the demand was always on the high, and later it started to decline so bad that Nokias are not even existent in market right now. That no people is buying. The Nokia is available in the market, but no one is ready to buy it. So the even though the prices go up or go down, the demand for Nokia in the market has gone totally low. So this is the demand curve of Nokia in around 2004. So for 4,200 of quantity demanded, for the price was just 100. So the prices get increasing though the quantity demanded gets decreased. So the supply curve of Nokia, change in consumers' expectations and change in market size. They always tried to meet with the needs of the people. They were busy with meeting the needs of the people, but they were not concerned about innovating their product. So that is how their demand fell down in the 2000 of Nokia. And they also tried to attain equilibrium at some points of time. and this was the equilibrium curve of Nokia, and how the demand curve for Nokia decreased. The best-selling mobile phones of all time, Nokia was created in 2003. In 2007, they came the game changer Apple. So Apple smartphone was all around the world. It did not have such a big market in 2007, but they kept increasing their technology. But Nokia even innovated a technology to inferior to Apple's lack of vision. They told that Apple did not have a vision, saying that they lacked a vision of demand. Later, due to the innovations of Apple, Apple is now one of the top selling mobiles in the market. No matter how much their prices go up, people are willing to buy them since their technology is so good. So this is also an example that lack of innovation and technology can lead to decrease in demand even if your prices go up. Thank you for watching this selfie seminar, and I will also like to thank my economics sir, Dr. J. Siva Prakasham, for giving me such a good opportunity to present myself with the ideas of law of demand.